My name is Christèle Parham, and I am the co-founder of Macon Black Tech. So I grew up in Haiti, then I moved to South Florida, and I lived in South Florida for most of my life. And about 7 years ago, I moved to Macon. I think like what was exciting about moving here, even when we dated long distance and I used to come visit, there's like something, I don't know how to explain it, but a lot of transplants that I encounter, they say the same thing. There's something about this city that makes you fall in love with it, and I can't really pinpoint what it is. And for me, I remember like the people, like the Southern hospitality. My husband and I, we own a health IT company, and besides that, I was also, well, I still do work as an innovation consultant. So what that means is being in the tech space and being in the health tech space, what has helped us grow our business is really community. And I know like for founders, a lot of times there's this level of loneliness that comes as you're building something new. All the quotes about how hard entrepreneurship is are true. And there are no blueprints. No matter how like you grow in a company, like you learn that there are things that don't look similar to other companies. There were times when we were working in certain spaces and we were connecting with different startups, and they weren't from Macon or they weren't Black, right? And we asked ourselves, why? And we did some research and realized that a lot of times there wasn't a safe space for people to build in the tech and innovation space locally. We found out that this space felt intimidating and unwelcoming for some people here, right? So what we wanted to do is build a space where Black people that look like us can feel comfortable building. And being from South Florida and Haiti, I grew up in a space where it was a lot of Black people, regardless of where I was, because not only Black people, but islanders from different parts of the world. So we're part of a lot of Black tech ecosystems. There are a lot of them in Atlanta. There's a lot of them in Miami. It was like this, like, there was not really a safe space for Black people in Silicon Valley, or all these people like to build and create, right? What we thought about is, because we've been given this opportunity to grow in a space that's been so collaborative and healthy, like we want that here for people to feel like, that look like us, to feel like they have a place where they can feel comfortable to build and grow. So what our role is here is to build an ecosystem for Black creatives here from the ground up, providing that safe space where we can have different events that are like networking, that are not necessarily like come to this app building class, but because we are building something where we want people to feel safe, we're very intentional about bringing events that are non-traditional in the tech space, if that makes sense. Because this is a new idea, not everybody is receptive of it. The setback is really like having the loneliness behind building something from scratch. If I'm being honest, Juneteenth was an opportunity to bring awareness to Black businesses and Black people doing things so we just highlighted a lot of the Black community members that were doing things. And I think that's very important. There is that urgency feeling that you don't know what you're doing, that you build upon. You're like, this feels right, so I'm gonna just do it, but what the heck am I doing? So many people that look like, us, right? Or our voices get muted, right? And there's a lot of trauma that goes around that. For me, what really helped me was going to therapy, and also like some of my mentors, like one of my favorite mentors, her name is Felicia Hatcher. She is the founder of Center for Black Innovation. It's in Miami. Oftentimes Black women, they get muted so much to the point that you figure out, like, you ask yourself, is something wrong with me? She always like tells us about, like walk in your, like share your good news, be like nurture your zone of genius, share your good news, do not feel uncomfortable around, you know, being your full self.